happy day. Thank you for visiting my channel. Kind of looks like I've been wearing the same outfit every day, but I've been wearing my robe every morning, and I don't care. Sometimes I do wear my same outfits. I didn't go nowhere. I didn't get nothing on us, so mind your business. Have a nice day. Anyway, thank you for visiting my channel. I am up. I am moving. I was supposed to go get my teeth cleaned today at the dentist, but I realized that it's not time for my check to hit. I mean, granted, it was supposed to hit yesterday, but yesterday was a Sunday, y'all. And it's a 7:11 a.m. right now, so it's 7:11. Anyway. Oy vey. I am here to tell you a couple things. First things first. YouTube isn't giving me notifications anymore. It doesn't let me know that if somebody's commented or not. Like, that's literally the only notifications I have turned on is subscribers and comments. The one, so sometimes people subscribe and you can't tell because most settings on YouTube has your privacy settings to where people can't see who you subscribe to. So most people don't even know if they're subscribed. And there's a few who have it on public so people can see who they're subscribed to, and so then I'll be able to see those. So those are few and far between. And then there's the comments and the liking comments or commenting something. And I'm just not getting those notifications. Just isn't coming up for some reason. That doesn't even show it like a little bell thing. So that's okay. I accept. So I just go in and click my bell when I go and look to find your comments. Yeah, there's also free Patreon. If you have been seeing numbers, you can put it in the I'm seeing numbers chat if you use Patreon. It's a whole other platform, so it's up to you. Anyway, moving on. The second thing I wanted to tell you is the alignment that is coming off of you is unreal. Like, I don't even know if you feel it, but I feel like you feel it. I feel like this raising of consciousness, like you had... Like, just recently had a really, I don't want to necessarily call it a big struggle, but it is something that has been affecting you, essentially, for a while now. Just straight up. Like, for example, like, I have anxiety, depression, CPTSD, lots of fun stuff. A lot of letters around in a sequence. And so that is something that comes up for me, being fearful. It's been something that's been a part of my life for a long time. So finding ways out of that cycle, or avoid even getting to that place in the first place, if possible. Noticing how you are feeling before it leads up to the panic, or noticing what it feels like before it gets to the depression, or the disbelief in yourself, or the belief that you're completely alone, or whatever the thing is. Believing that you're lacking in something, because, like, it doesn't matter if you are lacking in something or not. The belief of lack creates a much bigger void to fill, and it's pretty difficult to actually work against whenever you're actively bigging the void. You're actively bigging the void. That's a way to say that. Instead of digging it, you're bigging it. You're making it so big. And sometimes it's comfortable to just keep doing that. That's what people talk about, you know. It's like, this is what's comfortable, so I don't want to change. I don't want to grow. This is what's comfortable for me. And the whole growth over comfort is kind of like, honestly, it's kind of rude. You're not allowed to be comfortable. If you want to grow, you're not allowed to be comfortable. And I find it kind of rude because, like, also, I've already been so fucking uncomfortable. for so long. Like, and I've already been growing without like anyone. I never asked. And so I think there can be comfort in growth. Like once you're in that pattern, then it is comfortable. Things that are uncomfortable can become comfortable, unfortunately. And sometimes, fortunately, when you get your ears pierced, you got to twist them around and all that. I had my nose pierced. I had my this pierced, my Monroe. And so whenever you have piercings and stuff, you have to like twist them and move them. When you first get them, they're a little bit sore. Sometimes you bump them on something or, you know, whatever. Or was it this side? I think it was this side. I didn't do my left side. Ear piercings, stuff like that. And they always closed up on me after a while. After having them in over a year or 2 years or whatever, they just closed up. The only ones that didn't close up are my ear piercings. The first ones that I got at 8 months old. But that comes with pain. Eventually that pain kind of subsides. Eventually, you know, you kind of get used to twisting things around or whatever. But it takes time more than anything for things to naturally do what it's doing. There are some things that you can put your hand into 717 as I say that, but the rest is already happening. You are a living being. There was a damage to your body. And so now the body knows what to do, how to heal you, knows when to pop a fever, knows when to, you know, release histamines, it knows what to do. It knows what to do. 646 as I say this. So trusting that part, your body's going to do its job and you just do your job. You don't have to do all of the things. So whenever it comes to this growth over comfort thing, yes, find a way to grow. There are ways to grow within comfort. It's a bit slower. It's I'm doing this for 1 minute a day. I'm doing this for 5 minutes a day. I'm just trying to. There was another 7-Eleven by the way. Like, okay, I'm literally gonna meditate for 2 minutes. That's it. And I'm just gonna meditate for 2 minutes. Like I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna play around. I'm not gonna do it any more than that. And that's a comfortable thing, like tricking yourself with comfort. And then you're already comfortable in that moment of doing 2 minutes of meditation. So maybe you end up doing 5, or maybe you end up doing 7, or maybe you end up doing a whole hour. Who knows? Time flies differently whenever you're meditating. And so anyway, but yeah. Oh, the song that I woke up with this morning. If you are what you say you are, a superstar, and come on here, something like that. The crowd is here. I really do feel so much of how you feel about yourself. And honestly, a little bit, like, I don't know what it is. It's so funny because, like, some part of me really believes, like, that there's nothing significant about you. But then the other part is where I even, like, scratched my cheek just now. It's, like, right across right here, just right across the cheekbone. Like, I feel from my slicing my face with my nails. Strange. Anyway, but you really believe that there's nothing special about you, but also things that are special about you. And they're both true, especially with the esoteric stuff that you're learning. You're aware of all these things, like we're all part of this bigger picture type thing. But the significance in your energy, you are aware that you are supposed to do things that nobody else can do. Even if it's very similar to what other people are doing, like I was talking in my video yesterday. What is it? The January 27th. Oh, it's Monday. No dentist appointment for me today. It's okay. I'll be planning. So balancing between that, because I think sometimes you're kind of like afraid of, like, I guess, of looking cocky, of looking prideful. When it comes down to it, you are just like a cool person. And you're allowed to just be cool. And you're allowed to be good at certain things. But if you're like, oh yeah, no, this is what I'm good at, sometimes people are like, okay then, brag much? Like, okay. And what are you good at? Like, it has nothing to do with you. I'm just letting you know what I did with my life, 1102, as I say this. I'm just letting you know the steps that I took in my life to get to this point, and now these are the things that I know. Just because I have a huge amount of information about insurance, I don't sell any insurance anymore, but I could talk to you about insurance. I could talk and all of that other stuff. I was doing a whole other job before I ended up doing this for a living. Like, and yes, I do this for a living. Granted, I don't make YouTube videos for a living, but I read people's numbers for a living. And it took me having to accept the fact that I have I have a very good relationship with numbers that other people just don't have at this point in their life. It's not that nobody can do it. It's just that that's what my life led me to. Those are the things that I went through in order to get to that point. And a lot of wild stuff happened. The thing that just happened to be there all the time is whenever I looked up at the clock, or if I noticed like time on the VCR or something of how much time has gone past in the movie or whatever. There were all these little things of numbers saying, "You good, girl? Look at that pattern. Look at that pattern. Look at that pattern. Look at that pattern." And my pattern recognition was something that helped me in a lot of ways too. Recognizing patterns in humans, recognizing patterns in weather, in astrology, in psychology, all the things, all the ologies that I had access to, and it made sense. But if I hadn't stepped into the fact that I know what I'm talking about, I would still just be like, okay, is that right? Okay, is that right? Okay, well, what about this? I had done quite literally what, unbeknownst to me, was these intuitive gymnastics of numerology throughout my life. Like feeling the vibe of the essence of a number and saying, oh well, that 7 it's pink and purple, and it's not just like a regular purple. It's like a very vibrant purple. It's like more like neon purple. And understanding that 4 is a bit more brown and muted and a bit more earthy, and feeling those energies that I just did on my own. I wasn't necessarily taught anything, but I was being taught by the collective, by even allowing myself to be open to the fact that this is a little game that I play and I find joy in it, and it brings me peace. It gets my mind off the current situation. It takes a second for me to think of something larger than myself. And I did, and it helped. And so that's what I did. I just kept doing that. And as I got older and I had the ability to look into things more and actually do studying, there were so many things I didn't know based off of intuition, like the names that have been established for these types of numbers, the formulas to get to certain things, to because I was even as I was a teenager, I was doing readings based off of like, oh well, yeah, that's your favorite number. Okay, well, let's talk about somebody whose favorite number is a 3. Let's talk about somebody whose favorite number is a 4, or 19. Whatever your favorite number is, let's talk about that. And I would do that. I didn't know that was numerology. I didn't really grow up I grew up in the Bible Belt, baby. We ain't playing with that witchcraft. And as I got older and looked into more of what numerology was, I remember I went and found different names for it. Arithmomancy and bibliomancy. Um, Biblio doesn't always mean Bible, just like biblioteca, book. It means book. I'm pretty sure. But either way, whenever we look in the Bible or whenever people are referencing the Bible, they will say verse, chapter and verse, and those often relate very heavily numerologically. But again, none of this would have come if I wasn't going to be like, yeah, I'm confident enough, I've grown enough, but it still took growth for me to be like, you know what, yeah, no, this is just something. I had too many people, too many numerologists, too many people that I had been like, oh, well, let me get your approval. And I go up there and I read a number to them and they're like, I have never heard somebody read a number like that. I've heard numerologists before, but I've never, and it makes so much sense, 727. I had to then accept that somehow I was doing something different than even the numerologists back in the day. Granted, now that I'm older, I realize everybody does something different than people back in the day. That's the point. But they still did stuff back in the day, and it's still a foundation that we can build on, we can learn from, we can grow with, and evolve with. And so, whatever the thing is for you, it may be numbers. I'm not even lying. Like, the fact that you're seeing numbers so much, the fact that you're coming here and you're seeing numbers so much, lets me know that you are being contacted. Now, I'm going to let you know a little secret, okay? Everybody's a numerologist. It is literally our one language that all humans can speak. I know it doesn't seem like it because you don't feel like you speak it right now. But guess what? You can't. There's a reason why certain numbers give off vibes. Not every number will give off a vibe to you. Sometimes it's only one number that gives off a vibe, and sometimes it's like 333. Sometimes it's 123. Sometimes it's 1. Either way, there are things that come again and again and again. Those numbers are meant to change up over time as you're able to reach those milestones or as you're able to comprehend what that specific number was telling you. And it's the thing is, it was just 727, okay? 727 passed. 727 can mean spirituality, right? Through spirituality, patience, and spirituality. That's what it can mean. It can mean purpose. Through spirituality, patience, and spirituality. It could mean inner wisdom. Through spirituality, patience, and spirituality. Awesome. It could be analyzing through spirituality, patience, and spirituality. Now, those spiritualities that I did again and again, those can now be inner wisdom. They can be analyzation. They can be grounding with nature. All those every number has like, I'll say 6 to 8 phrases or 6 to 8 words that kind of go with it. 1, new beginnings, individualism, ideas, independence, which is different than individualism, leading. There, 5 of that. I'll just say 5. There's more, but then those specific words have their own context, right? So their context will be based off of the context and tones in your life. You're seeing 1. Do you feel like right now you need to lead? Right now, do you need to be independent? Right now, do you need to be an individual? What is this one? Have new ideas? Do you need to start something? Is there starting? It's just really seeing how those things apply to you. And I think a lot of times too, there had been this disconnect a little bit in the trust of like your intuition, and now like that download is there. Like it's just very easy for you to accept what the gifts are for you, instead of whatever the thing you've been doing. Honestly, whatever the thing you've been doing, like whatever the thing you've been doing to hold yourself back, You're not doing that anymore. Like the thoughts in your head, you're just simply not doing that anymore. I don't know if it's the planets in the sky or if something specific happened in your life. But even whenever the hard times have been coming over these past few days, it's been a little bit easier, a little less frustrating, a little bit easier to find your words, a little bit easier to be like, you know what? This is how I feel when I'm standing on business. All right. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it. I really don't even feel like I made a single point. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not for me. I'm not supposed to make points. This is not me coming up with shit to say. Excuse my language. I'm just here. I'm just a messenger. So anyway, in the meantime, lovies, I'm gonna go not get my teeth cleaned today. It's next week. And in the meantime, lovies, y'all keep a lookout for the numbers. Mm-hmm. And y'all stay safe, guys.